In 2004, the CEO of P&G gave a speech in which he said, and I quote, "We need to reinvent the way we market to consumers. We need a new model." Coming from a company that played a large part in inventing marketing, as it's been practiced over the last century, this speech was widely noted at the time. In hindsight, it marks the point at which marketers really began to realize that their world was changing, and that this change is not just about the rise of new media. It's about the need to develop a new model of marketing. The old model worked, and it worked something like this. We recognize that consumers are only going to pay so much attention to a product, especially a fast-moving or consumer packaged good product. So we need to focus the consumer's attention on the attributes or features of the product that they will find most important. From there, we need ideally to ladder up from those attributes to make sure that the consumer knows the benefits of the attributes, not just their functional value, but their personal, emotional, and social value. The old model says that if we've done all this, we'll have developed a strong brand. In the 1970s, for example, P&G developed the Bounty brand of paper towels by focusing consumers on the attribute of absorbency. Advertising messages of the day showed a down-to-earth waitress named Rosie who demonstrated Bounty's absorbency by cleaning up spills in her diner, with commentary like, even half a Bounty can get this spill up fast. In subsequent decades, the brand was further developed around the benefit of being a quicker picker-upper for women faced with the hectic pace of working outside the home and yet taking care of household tasks. The ultimate benefit was that Bounty could help them deal with small emergencies, a child spilling her juice, something like that, so that the negative event, whatever it was, would not disrupt family life. So what's wrong with the old model? The growth in media vehicles and fragmentation of audience certainly is a problem. And of course, there's so much advertising clutter that it's difficult even for a creative message to stand out these days. And there's the matter of ad avoidance. Today's consumer views time as a resource as scarce as money, and avoiding advertising can save time. In my opinion, however, the root problem is simply this: competition. In every product category you can think of, there are plenty of strong brands. All have benefits based on consumer insight, and in many cases the benefits are similar or at least of comparable value to the consumer. Now, what this competition means is that consumers are faced with many choices, and not just this, they're faced with many good choices, and getting a competitive advantage will be very difficult. You see the dilemma for the old model? Quite simply, it's not enough anymore to build a brand people like, so we need a new model, a model that adds something beyond building a brand that people like. We don't have agreement yet on what the word for that something will be, but I like to think of it as motivational engagement. We need a model that not only leads to brands consumers like, but also to brands that they are motivated to buy. What do I mean by motivated to buy? Well, you already understand motivation very well. You're motivated to succeed at work. You're motivated to spend time with your family. Motivation comes from the goals you have in your life. The new model says that we can add motivation by relating goals like this, life goals, to our products. When consumers see the connection to a life goal, they experience not just liking, but motivation. I like to think of this as engagement. The consumer has engaged with the brand in their life. This defines the new model of branding, adding motivation as well as liking to the experience of the brand. So what P&G is doing with Bounty in the U.S. is to relate it to a goal that their target customer has. Look at this ad called Father and Son, and you'll see the brand connecting to the goal. But the implications for media companies of this new model are just beginning to be understood. Certainly they involve new media and 360-degree marketing that can offer what the new model of branding calls for. It's what the new model calls for is building brands through motivational engagement. That's what can be offered. Getting consumers to engage with the brand in their lives, media companies have just this to offer. Successful media properties have always spoken to larger goals and motivations, and I believe that more and more properties will be explicitly managed in the future to be brands in just this way, the way that the new model calls for. So the value added for media companies is to make available their brands, not merely as vehicles, but as brands that are strongly engaging to consumers. This media companies need to transition from selling time and space to selling their brands. These brands can help provide the motivational engagement that the new model of branding demands.